Frankly, she just tore up the crowd. How many of you were here a year ago? She was recently named Deputy Majority Leader of the Florida House of Representatives. State Representative, she's currently the chairperson of the Pre-K-12 Appropriations Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Representative Anitere Flores.
All right, thank you all. How is everyone doing? Nice crowd, nice crowd. Listen, I said this last year and I'm going to say it again. When I first got to Tallahassee, people told me that there weren't any conservatives that actually lived in Tallahassee. And I'd asked them to come and look at this crowd now, huh? This is an incredible group. Listen, what's important about this demonstration, what's important about all of this is that what the big government folks not only want from us, but quite frankly, up until a couple of years ago, expected from us, was that we'd come out, do this once, get a couple people all excited for an issue here and there, but that very soon we would forget. And that very soon we would stay home and we would say, you know what? Politics as usual and government as usual is what we're going to continue doing. And that's something that is not only unacceptable, but as you can all see, quite frankly, it's untrue. It's untrue. And so I'm happy that you all are here, but I'm happy, and the rest of those speakers, we're all happy because you all are the ones that not only make our jobs worth doing, you make our jobs a lot easier. Because all of a sudden, when we're standing up in these chambers defending these basic Republican principles and basic conservative principles, suddenly it's not just State Representative Anitere Flores or Senator Mike Caradopoulos. I saw him around us. Suddenly it's not just one or two people. We are representing thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, not just in the state of Florida, but across the entire country. And so we thank you so very much. We thank you so much for what you're doing. And listen, guys, the bottom line is this. The bottom line is that 9 times out of 10, or possibly in many cases 10 times out of 10, the government's going to get it wrong. We just are. We're just going to get it wrong. And the more that we meddle into everyone's lives, and at this point, we're not just talking professionally, but we're talking personally. We're talking the more the government meddles, the more that we're going to just keep getting things wrong. And I'll tell you, listen, while I like to think of myself as an optimistic person, but the last couple of years, and this last year particularly, has been pretty challenging. I think we can all agree with that. But what gives us that silver lining of knowing that all is not lost, is that what makes America America, what makes this the free country and this the free republic that we are, is knowing that on a day like today, there are hundreds, if not possibly thousands of demonstrations much like this happening in every single corner across the United States. And that's important. That's very important, and that does deserve a round of applause, because it's not just today. But it's to get that message out to everybody else, that we are not going to just keep rolling over and letting the government come by and telling us what to do. You know, for those of you that had the opportunity I had the opportunity to meet last year, I had a small baby last year. He's a little bit bigger now. He's 19 months old. I brought him down, and it's important. I see it's so great to see the young kids that are out here. The young kids that are out here, it's important so that they can start to be part of this, the civic participation that we're doing. But it's important because we all know that rallies like today and what's happening in our country today, it's not about my generation or about the generations that came before me. It's really about the next generations. It's about the next generations, because if we don't fix these United States very, very quickly, we are going to be in a whole heap of trouble. I tell people, and I say it as a joke, but I really, really believe it, that if our founding fathers would come up out of the grave today and see what has become of their nation, all of them would probably be begging to go back into the coffin, go back under the grave, because this is not what they intended, what we see right now. And I'm telling you, this is, and you all know this, it's no longer just a Republican-Democrat issue. Because there are lots of Republicans that like to use that term in order to get elected, but then unfortunately once they do get elected, forget what it meant to be a Republican. So it's not just about being a Republican or Democrat anymore. It's about being a conservative. It's about being conservative. And I'll tell you, listen, the assault on our conservative principles are day in and day out. And what our message today needs to be here is that we're not going to forget, but that we're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting every single day for those principles that are important for us, to make sure that when government gets involved, it's only as the very, very last option, not the first option, which is what happens right now. That our families leave our families alone so that we can raise our own children. Education is the issue that's so important to me, and I say this all the time, is that it is absolutely unacceptable that something as important as our education is still determined in the majority of the United States by a five-digit zip code at the end of your address. That's unacceptable. It's absolutely unacceptable, and we need to make sure that we continue to empower those families, empower those children, empower them so that they can continue to become better educated, so that this rally doesn't just end today, or it doesn't just happen on April 15th, that every single day, each and every one of us are waking up and saying, our America is not lost, so what can I do today to make this place better? What can I do today to keep fighting? I think in Washington, they may not hear us all the time, but when they see things like this, when everybody turns on their news tonight, we hope that they see that across the country, in everybody's district, there were rallies like this going on. I appreciate it. I'm incredibly honored that you all invited me to be here again. I hope that you'll continue to invite me, and I hope that each and every one of you keep accountable every single person that you have elected, from that very, very local level up to the top. Because what they want us to do is they want us to sit down and forget and to stay home on election day. And I know that that's not going to happen. So thank you all for being here. Thank you, not for me and not just for you, but for our children, for our children's children, so that there can still be a United States of America for our children's children and our children's grandchildren. So thank you all very, very much. God bless you and God bless America.